When Maya Santos arrived at Westbridge University, she was kind, quiet, hardworking, and determined to become an architect. She spent most of her time in the library, sketching building designs and studying late into the night. Unfortunately, she became the target of a group of 5 students who enjoyed making her life miserable. There was Vanessa, the ringleader; Chris, who recorded humiliating videos; Paula, who spread rumors online; Jenna, who sabotaged Maya's projects; and Leo, who always encouraged the others but never got his hands dirty. At first, the bullying seemed harmless to outsiders. Snide remarks, hidden textbooks, cruel jokes. But over time, it escalated. Someone poured paint over Maya's final project the night before an important presentation. Fake messages were posted from her account. Embarrassing videos of her were shared throughout the campus. Whenever Maya complained, the group laughed it off as harmless fun. One rainy evening, Maya received a text message claiming a professor wanted to meet her on the 5th floor of an old academic building. The message was fake. When she arrived, she found the 5 bullies waiting, smirking. One says to Maya, "You really are gullible." The bullies laugh. Maya, annoyed and scared, doesn't know what to do. A security camera captured Maya running toward the stairwell. Moments later, she fell from the 5th floor landing. The details of what happened were never fully known. Witnesses later reported hearing laughter, but the investigation never pushed through. The university ruled it a tragic accident. Her classmates and professor attended her funeral. Also, the 5 bullies attended the funeral in black. The audacity of them, crying sorrowfully in public. After some time, they returned to their lives. As if nothing had happened, as if they didn't cause someone's death. After Maya's funeral, strange things began happening around campus. Students reported seeing a young woman standing at the 5th floor window late at night. A pale figure carrying a sketchbook. A figure that vanished whenever anyone got close. The figure is Maya's ghost. The bullies have no idea what will happen. They thought it was over. They thought that since it was ruled an accident, they were free. Then the first accident happened 3 months later. Vanessa was driving home after a party. As she crossed a bridge, she glanced into her rearview mirror. For just a second, she saw Maya sitting in the back seat. Appalled, Vanessa jerked the wheel. Her car crashed through a guardrail and plunged into the river below. Investigators blamed the rain-slick roads. Nobody questioned it. It was an accident. A few weeks later, Chris was filming content for social media in an abandoned warehouse. As he reviewed footage on his camera, he noticed something odd. A figure appeared in the background. A girl holding a sketchbook. Frame after frame, she seemed closer. Chris became frightened and hurried toward an exit. In his panic, he failed to notice a weakened staircase railing. It broke beneath him. He fell several stories. Authorities ruled it a structural failure. It was an unfortunate accident. One of the remaining bullies, Paula, tried convincing herself that the stories were nonsense. That both of Vanessa's and Chris's deaths were accidents. Ghosts weren't real. Still, she couldn't stop hearing scratching sounds at night. One evening, she stayed late in the university archives. As she walked between shelves, she noticed sketches pinned to a corkboard. All of them depicted her. Each drawing showed her standing beneath a heavy bookshelf. Terrified, she turned to leave, and a loud crack echoed through the room. An old shelf, improperly secured for years, tipped forward. It crushed her instantly. The investigation blamed neglected maintenance. It was just another sad accident. Then Jenna became obsessed with discovering what was happening. She spent months researching Maya's death. One night, she entered the abandoned 5th floor of the old building. Her flashlight flickered. The hallway seemed endless. She heard footsteps behind her. When she turned around, no one was there. Then she spotted Maya standing at the far end of the corridor. Jenna is scared. She can't believe there's a ghost, Maya's ghost, and she runs in panic. The floor beneath her gave way. Part of the building had been weakened by water damage. She fell through to the level below. Another tragic accident. Only Leo remained. He believed that the ghost was real. He believed that Maya's ghost killed his friends. Feeling overwhelmed, uncertain, and horrified, he recognized that the guilt he carried was inescapable. Determined to confront his past, He found himself back in the building, returning to the 5th floor where everything had unfolded. Dust filled the air, moonlight poured through broken windows. There, standing by the stairwell, was Maya. Leo was terrified, but he says he wasn't responsible. He hadn't pushed her. He hadn't started the bullying. He had merely laughed. That is his apology. The audacity in him, not realizing that his every word encouraged the others. In his mind, he was merely a bystander. The ghost didn't speak. She simply held out her sketchbook. Its pages flipped in the wind. Every cruel act committed by the 5 students had been drawn in meticulous detail. The final page showed Leo standing alone on the 5th floor, exactly where he was now. The old building groaned. Years of decay had weakened the structure. A support beam snapped. Leo tried to run. Too late. Part of the ceiling collapsed, sending him tumbling down the same stairwell where Maya had lost her life. By dawn, emergency crews found the wreckage. The official report called it an unfortunate and tragic accident. The 5th floor was demolished soon afterward. Months later, workers clearing the site discovered a sketchbook buried beneath the rubble. Inside were hundreds of drawings. On the last page was a drawing of a peaceful campus under bright sunlight. 5 empty shadows stood in the distance, and in the center was Maya. Smiling. No one ever saw the girl with the sketchbook again.